It was time to hit the road, leaving the house that the babe built back in 20.
Live. We are live. Thank you. You want to open us up? 162 Experience?
It can't be live. It's the internet. Are we live?
Well, we're live right now. Watch this. Bam. We are live. We're dead out of the poker tournament, though. I'm with comedian Marc Price, and we both just participated in a celebrity poker tournament here.
No, I want to get this straight. Are we live?
We're live right now.
No way.
Yeah.
You're putting me on. This is live?
No,
okay.
Nobody, they're not watching it live, but this is live.
Okay.
So, no. We did go live for many episodes, Mark, you must know, on Facebook, and it worked out well. But
so now you're just blatantly lying about it. This is the Donald Trump podcast.
Yeah. I didn't really ever consider that, but we'll go back and we'll consider our introduction. Anyway, we're not live here on the 162.
Almost live.
We're almost live here. And first time, not first time playing poker, but first time in a while you were in a poker tournament. How'd you feel like you did today?
I hung in there more time than the guy who taught me how to play today, so I felt good about that.
That was your friend?
My friend. He taught me how. I stayed in longer than him.
And there were, about 8 celebrities here today?
I had some big, I think I came in about fourth of the celebrities. There were 4 more left.
For you guys, it was more of beating the other celebrities.
I don't know. It was just about having fun, really. But I did find myself with a couple of hands with thousands of dollars and chips on the table. Pretty cool.
It's a little disorienting because, like, that $5,000 chip, you think it's, when it's really only about $8.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, good stuff. So
I'm not very good at math.
You've been in show business since you're 7 years old?
Even younger, really. When I was born into the show business. My mom was a singer.
Okay.
My dad was a comedian. And they used to bring me on stage at the end of the show. I was like a little offering up to the audience for applause. I was a cheap device for applause.
Wow. And do you ever remember seeing your dad do stand-up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was everything for me. That's how I kind of started and studying the business, if you will. And it was the greats, the old-timers, like Milton Berle and George Burns and Joey Bishop, all those guys. I got to hang out with them and watch their shows and get, premiere access, backstage and in the limo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. Yeah. And then you were about 7 years old and you got your first, at least primetime gig on One Day at a Time?
Not exactly. I was a little older by then.
Okay.
I was 7 when I was doing the Joey Bishop thing.
Oh, okay.
By the time I moved to California, I was more like 13 when that happened.
Interesting.
12, 13.
Do you remember that show at all?
Which one?
The One Day at a Time?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Schneider's camper. Schneider. People don't know, but Schneider lived in a camper in the parking lot.
In real life?
No, I guess he had an apartment, but he also had a camper. I don't know, something like
in the show.
In our episode, we were messing around in Schneider's camper and we burned the building down. Wow. We were smoking cigarettes.
Huh. And then I saw you were also on an Archie Bunker episode. I finally got TV for the first time in years last night at my new place, and I put on an old Archie Bunker episode. And then I saw you were, so everything was.
And I think that was my first ever acting gig, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene at all?
With Archie in the living room, with the couch. I remember that. I remember the chair, Archie's chair.
He's like the modern day Donald Trump now, right?
Just with his old-time Alex P. Keaton. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's interesting because in Archie Bunker's case, people love to hate Archie Bunker, of course. Okay? But in Alex P. Keaton's case, the character from the TV show I was on, Family Ties, Michael J. Fox was just so darn lovable.
Yeah.
Arguably more lovable than even Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker, certainly.
Certainly.
And so people didn't love to hate him. They loved to love him, even though he was like this hateable character in some ways. But he was lovable. I think it started this whole Republican boom.
And
this whole
and now you've been doing stand-up since you're 10.
Hardcore conservative greed movement.
Yeah, well, it's certainly
the Family Ties show had something to do with that. And the irony is that the writers of the show were very liberal, and they wrote it like Archie Bunker. They thought people would mock and laugh at that, but it just didn't work out that way.
Wow.
People just sort of cherished it and bowed down to it instead.
Interesting. Yeah. And do you still keep in touch with those guys?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody kind of gets together. We had a group gathering not too long ago. That was fun. Everybody got together again. We've had some tough medical realities in our group.
Sure.
Michael J. Fox, of course, being the most visible, and his medical circumstances. And he's doing, people ask me, how's he doing? How's Michael? He's doing as well as anybody can under those circumstances. It's a very difficult situation. But he does as good as anybody can. He's a great family man. He's got a beautiful family. And our executive producer, who was very much the father of our show and the guy that everybody looked up to, and he was he ran it, and he's no longer with us.
He passed a couple years ago.
Yeah, really at a crazy early age for someone, and so we miss him terribly. I understand there may be a theatrical version of Family Ties in the works right now. The people who did Wicked are working on it. Something we don't know if it's been authorized by powers that be properly or not, but apparently there's something in the works.
Interesting. You think the character Skippy will make it?
You never know. You never know. It's kind of funny to think they'll be casting a young me somewhere.
Maybe you'll play yourself. That would be fun. Maybe in an older version. Maybe the neighbor will be a little bit older in this one. A stand-up comic. That would be pretty funny. So you remember the first time you took a stage doing stand-up? You were like 10?
I actually, by the way, I heard about this Family Ties play thing, and I was in touch with the estate, if you will, of the creator of Family Ties, his wife. His wife, the executive producer's wife. And I said, "Did you know about there's a play?" And she goes, "No, I didn't know about the play." And I thought, "Oh, what did I do?" I started the whole thing. There's a lawyer that had to stay night at Paramount, late at Paramount that night.
Oh, that's funny.
What? And then they bring up my name. Skippy.
What?
He'll never work again. That's my line. He'll never work again.
Now, your line on Facebook is that you've never worked a day of your life.
Well, that's more kind of goes with the famous saying that if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I work pretty hard. This last couple of weeks, I've worked maybe harder than I've ever worked in my life. So it's not like I don't work hard, but I guess what that means, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy making people laugh, and ultimately that's the goal, and all the efforts I put forth in my world sort of ultimately lead towards that. Sure.
No, I get that. And I've had the pleasure to do stand-up with you out in North Carolina. We talked about that a little bit earlier. How many nights how many weekends a year would you say you're on the road?
There's no rule. I think it was 40 cities last year. A year doesn't even start. It's like a school year kind of thing. It goes from like fall to spring. And we're just starting now. We go, we're here at the Harrah's in San Diego. And this is sort of the opening of the whole tour because I'm off to Buffalo and Rochester and Northern California and Florida and Minneapolis and Colorado and all in the next month.
And is there a theme for the tour?
The Make America Laugh Again tour. And I'm going to be in Florida during the election. So if they do it wrong, oh man, I'm going to be right there. If they do it right, I'm going to be celebrating. If they do it wrong, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's pretty funny. And do you come up, you have like a whole new set list for this, or do you bring back some of your old stuff that works? Like, how do you work?
Maybe there's a bit of the old stuff that we're in the mix. I do an hour show, so I might have hit on some of the material in past years. It's possible. But a lot of new stuff I've been working. I've been working hard.
Cool. Yeah. And do you still work with Julie McCullough, who you were on the road with when you came out?
No, she didn't talk to me.
Oh, okay.
No, you can bring her up. It's fine. She was a Playboy playmate.
Right.
And she's a comedian. She's very beautiful. And and I went on what was it, the Beauty and the Dweeb tour.
Yeah.
I've toured with a lot of good people. I toured with Rain Pryor, Richard Pryor's daughter. Nice. And comedy royalty, I like to say. And she's fantastic talent. She sings, and she's funny. I've been touring more recently with Marsha Warfield, who's really like a god to me as far as comedians go. She's one of the best. And she worked with Richard Pryor. But she was just a part of the comedy scene dating back to the 70s, and she was one of the first headliners, and one of the first black headliners, and one of the first black female headliners, one of the first female headliners. She broke down a lot of barriers, and it's really a thrill working with her. I just did a show with Billy Gardell, who plays Mike on Mike and Molly, and that was fun. There's kind of a Legends of Sitcom tour that I'm on, and I don't think I'm really a legend, but the guys that I'm working with are. Like Jimmy Walker, who played JJ on Good Times. Sure. He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. So you're on the tour, you must be a legend.
I'm legend adjacent. Very humble. I'm near legend. Pseudo-legend.
Now
I refer to myself as a pseudo-celebrity.
Is that hard to be, do you feel like you're typecast on the road as a sitcom person? You have to try extra hard to be funny? Or?
No, I don't think that's hard at all. I think, in fact, if anybody even knows me from the sitcom, I'm just lucky. and I don't complain about it at all.
And do you mind when people yell out to you, "Hey, Skippy," in the middle of a crowd?
I've grown to cope. There's somebody doing it right now. Skippy!
And we're actually at the pool. I don't think security knows we're here. We got about 10 more minutes.
This is pretty low key. I got to be honest with you. Nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
People think we're just having a loud conversation.
Yeah. These guys are really
It's pretty cool.
And as you know, we talked a little bit earlier. This is a show about inspiring people, about empowering people. If you were talking to someone that wanted to break into show business, whether it be an actor or whether it be stand-up, you might give two different pieces of advice. But what do you say to somebody early in their career?
Well, first, let's empower and inspire people to come to the Harrah's in San Diego that's taken such good care of us. We had a great time today. We both played in this celebrity poker tournament for breast cancer and for the Cancer Society. I guess they raised some money, and so it was for a good cause. And everyone here, the staff, I think everyone agrees, is as good as it gets. They don't have better service anywhere. No shite.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that, and not in just this location, but in every Harrah's that I've been to.
They're very good. They're very good.
Seems like they're very friendly.
I do work for them, so I am biased. I will admit it.
I didn't know that.
This advertisement is paid for by Skippy works at Harrah's, so he likes them very much. No, but they really, the service is world class.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, next question. I just wanted to take a moment to look at a little commercial.
Well, sure. When we first saw each other in the poker room today, you were like, "So your show's about empowering people," which is cool. And it really is. I mean, I do comedy too, so I try to make it funny and entertaining. But at the end of the day, it's to inspire people to live their dreams. You feel like you're living your dreams doing stand-up?
No doubt. Show business is a dream living situation. We just talked about it. It never worked a day in your life. I mean,
sure.
Isn't that everybody's dream?
Stand-up is not an easy way to keep going, though. I mean, it's like, is there something at the end of the rainbow that you're looking for?
I haven't figured that part out yet. You're right. It's not an easy way to keep going. The old timers, and I've seen the old timers. We talked about them. George Burns, Joey Bishop, all those guys. They keep going until they can't go anymore. That's probably on my horizon, but you never know. I'm looking for a way out.
And you produce a lot of stuff?
Maybe I'll win poker. Maybe I'll become one of those poker guys. You know who did that? Gabe Kaplan. Welcome back, Cotter, for the old people watching. Gabe Kaplan, Mr. Cotter, is a poker fiend.
That's how he makes his money now?
I swear, he's a professional gambler. He's really good.
Now, a guy like that, you think he makes money on residuals? Like he's still got money coming in?
I don't know. In those days, the residual deals weren't as good as they... I don't know. I don't even know. I was about to say as good as they are now. I don't even know if they're as good now, to be honest with you. There was a period of time where it was better, and then I think it got worse.
And do they still play Family Ties on TV?
They do. Yeah. They do. And I'm grateful anytime I get a check from anything I did, 30 years ago. Can't complain about that.
Sure. You remember the very first...
Some people do. They're like, this check isn't big enough. I'm like, it's from 30 years ago. I mean, really? You get a check from somebody who did 30 years ago? Who did? Do you?
Right.
It'd be great.
No, that's the American dream, residual income.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Money while you sleep. We call it in showbiz mailbox money.
Mailbox money, absolutely. I love it.
And it's like a game show, too, because you open the mailbox and there's some check there from Screen Actors Guild, and you're like, how much is it? $4.16. Sometimes it's like, $68, let's go to dinner.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. Cool. What's next for your career?
Good question. This tour is directly on my horizon. I literally leave this week, and so I'm thinking a lot about that. But I made a movie for the first time in 20 years, and it was a lot of fun. It's called Wigged Out.
Wigged Out.
Tremendous cast, great crew, independent film made in Indiana. And I had such a good time, and it was a kids' movie. The kids are the stars. I'm just a small part in it, but I worked with the kids, and it was fun. So I think, you never know, maybe I'll find myself acting again. I just kind of started looking into the possibilities of re-emerging on the Disney Channel as the dad or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Am I old enough to be the dad now? I'm too old to be the dad.
And how does that work? You call
That's
up your
scary.
agent?
That's scary.
And you say, I want to...
My agent.
You have an agent?
I used to have an agent. Jay Leno's agent. I used to be with Jay Leno's agent.
Wow.
And then I was with Screech's agent. And now... Flo from Progressive. She's my agent. She's got me covered up.
Yeah, I bet. That's fun. Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
First joke you ever told, you remember?
No, but honestly, just to answer the question honestly, I recently just hooked up with a manager that handles people, not unlike myself, people who maybe were known and now are trying to reemerge and stuff. And so she's kind of looking out and scoping things. So you never know. Might go in and visit with my friends at the Disney Channel or something and see if there's a part.
And you do corporate gigs at all?
Not really.
No.
I have. I've done them. I don't know. I'm not the corporate comedian type. I don't know.
Sure.
I remember doing once for one of the big drug companies, and it didn't go well. Because I made like a Prozac joke in my opening line, and they were a different company or something. They hated me.
That's funny.
Wrong drug, sorry.
There goes your corporate career. Coming up in it.
They pay well, right? The corporate gigs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they used to anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. You know, and I mean, everything's relative. For sure.
Get some of that golden parachute money.
Well, there's not as much as it seems like there used to be. You know, going around. Growing up in a showbiz family, how much of an impact do you think that had on becoming who you are today? And really never working. I mean, you've never had a regular job, right?
I've never had a regular job. I'm trying to think about it.
Never waited tables?
I mean, when I was a kid, I'd go to my stepmom's store and sweep and help sell and stuff like that. She had a pillow and comforter store.
Okay.
Decorative pillows.
Sure.
Yeah. And
she was before her time.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah, they're huge now.
Well, no, not her kind of stuff. I mean, her store got eaten up by like Bed Bath & Beyond and that kind of thing, right? Yeah, she was an independent. Yeah.
Sure.
But anyway, it was, so that was that was about it. I mean, a few things like that. Like there was a girl that cut hair that was real pretty. I used to go sweep the floor at her hair. I guess I was a professional sweeper. Which is ironically where I'm going to end up, in retirement. So it's perfect. I've got my skill set. It's the only other skill set I have. Comedy and sweeping.
Well, I think you're going to do fine. There's a lot of places that need to be swept.
And, you know, maybe I'll find a witch or something.
So what, you growing up in your household, I'm not sure what that was. Somebody lost a lot of money today.
They just peeled out of here fast.
And if you're just joining us, we were both in the celebrity poker tournament today.
You're at Harrah's in San Diego.
Here at Harrah's in San Diego. I didn't even really know there was a Harrah's in San Diego.
Well, it's not technically in San Diego, is it?
It's about an hour away.
Okay.
We're on a very nice Indian reservation. So I guess gambling's legal here. And it's starting to get dark. So the show's not going to go on for too much longer.
See that? That's good. Perfect.
Well, that's great. And you know what I just wanted to ask you is just, you know, the nurturing part of your growing up, the values you were taught and stuff like that. You know, what did that have to do with the level of commitment and persistency that it took to be successful in show business?
That's a tough question. My dad was my hero, and he still is my hero. He's no longer with us, but he's my hero. And he was committed to show business in such a profound way. It's hard to even describe it. And it's, you know, apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Sure.
So it's not even something you think about. It's not even an option. It's not like, well, what should I do? You know, it's just something we do. And I can't explain it any other way.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd be doing other than show business?
No, that's what I'm saying. I have no other skill sets.
Right. And you did, a couple years ago, you did an environmentally friendly...
You know, my mom didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. She didn't want me to be in show business. She was over it. She had been in show business. She was a singer. And she got out. She didn't like it. So she didn't want it for me, you know, so it kind of upset her when she saw me going into it.
Yeah. And
she's over that now.
Is she? And she's still with us?
She's grown to cope, yes.
Yeah. And do you felt like there was a point of your career that you knew you made your father proud? I mean, I think that's all a driving instinct that we have.
Totally. And he passed in 2004, and I had just produced a series. I actually executive produced and created a series that was on the Game Show Network, and I remember watching the episode with him and stuff, and it was good.
Yeah.
Good feeling.
That's cool. And, you know, as far as that it's an inspirational show, we try to knock over my water there. What's been the biggest challenge of your career or biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome? Was there a point where you just felt like, I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah. What time is it?
8 minutes ago.
I don't know about that. I get, sometimes ADD and I move on to some different direction, but it's always sort of within comedy and showbiz. But when you make people laugh on TV, it's totally different. You don't get that instantaneous reaction. It's not as cool as performing live. But if your goal is to get as many people laughing as possible, if that's the big win, then nothing like television to be able to do that. You can perform live all your life and never hit as many as one hit TV show, So it's a different kind of thrill. It's a different technique. It's a different, process. But in the end, that's the goal. Get it on the air. How many laughs can we get on the air? How many laughs can we get out there? So sometimes I shift it up a little bit, and I do that. I work behind the scenes for quite a while for E!, Game Show Network, Animal Planet, Food Network, more.
Making stuff.
Making comedy shows, working with comedians mostly, and just how can you get laughs on the air?
Mm-hmm. And do you find yourself going out to the to open mics and stand-up places around Southern California, looking for guys or encouraging guys, or it's a whole different lifestyle?
Maybe going looking for guys or encouraging guys, although I have to admit I haven't done that in a while. But I go travel on the road so much performing that in LA there's so much talent and nobody pays anything because there's everybody and their brother's a comedian and they just put on these shows. And I don't go very often to those. I gotta be honest with you. I just kind of burn out. I did it. I paid my dues. I was in the comedy clubs in LA every night for multiple decades.
Yeah, and that's what it takes
to become a comedian. Yeah. But then you reach a certain point, and it's like I don't know if I really, why.
Sure.
I don't know. Is that rude? Did I share too much? Did I just share too much?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
No, because everybody has a motive, right? If you go to one of those things, you want to get discovered, you want to get laid, you want to try out new material,
All the above.
I personally have no need for any of those.
Well, cool. Thanks for being with us today. Question that we always like to ask our folks that are on. If you had to give yourself
you want to get
advice,
famous? Maybe you want to get famous? I've already done that.
If you had to give yourself advice at 18, knowing what you know now, what kind of advice?
Oh shit, man! Buy another house. Save your money. You don't always make as much as you're making right now. I just thought I was one of those people. Oh, that's great. I make the big bucks. I'm one of those people. My whole life, I'm going to make the big bucks. I would have invested wisely, but I can't complain. I actually did buy some property, so I'm all right. That I managed to hold on to. So I did better than a lot of others. But yeah, definitely save your money. That's the big one, isn't it?
I think so.
I mean, come on. Now, knowing if I knew what I know now, you could take them. Your listeners know the story that the coffee cup millionaire thing. You know about that, right? If you start young enough, which we are now no longer in that.
We're past that.
Yeah, past that. But if you're young watching this, you just take the money you would spend at Starbucks every week and you put that into an account and you end up a millionaire.
That's it. We spent all day to get there to hear that piece of advice. That's like the latte philosophy, isn't it?
I think so, and I think it's very real.
Oh, it is very real. It's like $5 a day. Well, cool. So you're coming up on the road right now.
At our age, let me do the math on this. Yeah. You'd have to put aside $10,000 a day.
I'm not that old.
I can add.
So you were born in '68. So what are you, Generation Xer?
I am an Xer. Yeah, I am. I'm a Generation Xer. And I loved it. And I grew up with TV, and TV was my babysitter. And so I feel, to this day, comforted by the TV. I know that the millennials don't even watch TV anymore. It's Netflix and it's all of them.
Yeah.
And I watch my phone and stuff too, but I still like TV and some stupid show late at night, like Shark Tank or something. I listen to it and fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's my babysitter still, to this day.
Yeah. Whether you're on the road or you're at home.
And that's the other thing too, wherever you are, you turn on that TV and it kind of brings consistency and yeah.
Well, there's a whole nother world out there.
Outside of TV.
Yeah.
Not for me. Everything I've done on TV. Oh, yeah, did you go to high school? Well, on TV. Did you go to prom? Well, on TV.
How much do you think your life was different than the average person?
Oh, pretty different.
Yeah. Do you think you missed out on stuff or just experienced it differently?
I'm kidding. Of course I missed out on some stuff, but
sure.
I can't think I missed out on too much stuff as a kid, as a teenager. I think growing up, maybe I've missed out on some stuff by not having a family, but never getting married and having kids. And that kind of thing. That's probably the biggest regret. But as far as like stuff I missed out on by not going to high school or doing homework, no, I have no regrets. Yeah. No regrets.
Cool. Well, you seem pretty well-adjusted. Great guy. I really appreciate you taking time. And anything else you want to tell our viewers, the 162 experience?
Well, you've seen me as a awkward teen. Now come check me out in my awkward adult years as the Awkward Adult Years tour hits your city soon.
Awesome. And who do you have? Are you going on the road with somebody or by yourself?
It's different people. Sometimes it's the Legends as they come. Sometimes it's by myself. Sometimes it's with, I mentioned Marsha Warfield and Jimmy Walker. And then there's some other comedians who are lesser known but really funny who I work with sometimes.
Yeah. Well, they're looking for you. Look forward to back in Wilmington, North Carolina, where a lot of my buddies, Timmy Cheryl, are.
June, we're looking forward to possibly showing up there in June again.
Nice.
We love it.
June.
We love Wrightsville Beach.
Right. Oh, yeah. Great. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the
Clifton
very funny.
Cash.
Oh, yeah.
Love your guys.
Do you know Cliff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cliff's my buddy. He was originally my recycling guy.
Yeah.
And he came out to the open mic one night, and he's a great guy. Funny. Very funny.
He asked me about my environmental thing. There's a water technology that I'm a part of that is mind-blowing, but there's not enough time. I couldn't even get into it right now.
Anything you want to promote, website or anything else?
Just Harrah's. We want to say thank you to Harrah's for all those years. They've been so good to me, and I'm not just saying it. I really believe it. The service here and the fun here to be had is beyond normal levels of fun.
Awesome. And cool. And just going to do a shout out to our sponsor. And again, want to thank Marc Price, comedian, for being here today.
I was just going to let it go.
No, I know who you are. With a C, M-A-R-C. And our sponsor is Legal Shield.
Legal Shield.
Legal Shield. Do you know Legal Shield?
No, but I'm just going to pretend. I'm a good pitch guy. Legal Shield.
I've been a member for 18 years, and instead of paying big bucks for attorneys, you can have a lawyer on call 24/7 all across the United States and Canada for less than a cup of coffee a day.
Oh, my God. It sounds like something I need.
We're going to get you signed up today. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the 162 Experience. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Did Screech have Legal Shield?
He does.
I need Legal Shield.
Thanks, buddy.